Imagine a small community of just a few hundred people. In this neighborhood, families are raised, neighbors help each other with daily tasks, and social gatherings are a regular occurrence. At first glance, it seems like a perfectly ordinary scene, one you could find in countless places around the world. But there's a remarkable twist: this community represents the last remaining humans on Earth. No other people exist anywhere else on the planet. This isn't the plot of a dystopian film, it's a scenario rooted in historical reality. There was indeed a time in human history when the global population was reduced to only a small group, numbering slightly over 1,000 individuals. What kind of catastrophe could have annihilated 99% of humanity? When and why did this dramatic decline happen? How did this small group manage to survive? And could a similar disaster threaten humanity again today? The idea that humanity once teetered on the brink of extinction may seem far-fetched, but it has solid foundations in scientific research. In 1998, anthropologist Stanley H. Ambrose from the University of Illinois published a groundbreaking paper in the Journal of Human Evolution titled Late Pleistocene Human Population Bottlenecks, Volcanic Winter, and Differentiation of Modern Humans. Ambrose proposed that around 75,000 years ago, humanity went through a severe population bottleneck, a period when the number of humans drastically dropped, dramatically affecting our genetic diversity and the future of our species. Ambrose noticed a sharp decrease in archaeological discoveries from around 74,000 years ago, suggesting that a major population decline had indeed occurred. Evidence pointed to worsening living conditions and deteriorating diets during this period, possibly triggered by global climate disruptions, notably a minor ice age. Ambrose linked this to the catastrophic eruption of the Toba supervolcano in Sumatra. This was the most powerful volcanic eruption in the last 2 million years, ejecting vast amounts of ash and sulfur into the atmosphere and causing a volcanic winter. A sharp population drop seemed entirely plausible. However, Ambrose's elegant theory faced considerable skepticism. Critics argued that archaeological data was incomplete, climate models for that period were unreliable, and the evidence was too scattered to draw firm conclusions. But 2 decades later, in 2023, researchers turned to a new tool, the genetic analysis of ancient DNA. When scientists compared ancient DNA with that of modern humans, they uncovered surprising results. A study published in Science revealed that human genetic diversity today is significantly lower than that of chimpanzees living in different areas of the same forest. This suggests that all 8+ billion people alive today are descended from a very small group of ancient humans, literally just a few hundred individuals. In essence, we are all relatives. Was Ambrose right? Partially. Humanity did come dangerously close to extinction, but it happened much earlier than he proposed. Scientists now estimate that between 930,000 and 813,000 years ago, the human population shrank by 98.7%, leaving only around 1,280 breeding individuals on the entire planet. That's a number small enough to fit inside a couple of high-rise apartment buildings. It's important to note that these figures represent the ancestors who successfully passed their genes to future generations, not necessarily the total number of ancient humans alive at the time. Still, it's an astonishing fact. We are all descendants of a tiny group of survivors who endured one of the most perilous periods in human evolutionary history, a period that lasted at least 100,000 years. What caused this catastrophic collapse in human numbers? Scientists have tentatively linked it to a combination of severe environmental stresses, likely beginning with a sharp cooling of the Earth's climate. Increased volcanic activity may have triggered a prolonged volcanic winter, causing global temperatures to drop, turning habitable regions into frigid wastelands, and decimating ecosystems. Resources essential for human survival would have become scarce, forcing people into rudimentary shelters and pushing them to eat previously inedible foods. Another theory suggests that instead of cooling, the disaster might have involved a phase of global warming triggered by shifts in ocean currents. This could have caused rising sea levels, widespread flooding, the collapse of food chains, and mass starvation. Before this crisis, the human population may have numbered in the several hundreds of thousands. These competing theories highlight the complexity of ancient human survival and the vulnerability of our ancestors to environmental changes. Whether caused by a volcanic winter or rising sea levels, the event around 930,000 years ago, now referred to as the 0.9-million year ago event, nearly wiped out humanity. The effects weren't limited to humans. The 0.9 Ma event coincided with the Middle Pleistocene transition, a long-term period of drastic climate shifts that affected ecosystems worldwide. Many species, including large mammals like saber-toothed cats and early canine species, went extinct. In marine environments, oxygen levels dropped due to disrupted ocean currents, wiping out numerous small vertebrates and several species of ancient sharks and dolphins. Among early human species, Homo antecessor, a mysterious species living in Europe about 1 million years ago, vanished during this crisis. Despite their tool use and hunting skills, they couldn't withstand the extreme conditions. In contrast, Homo heidelbergensis, a more advanced and social human species, survived. Their superior cognitive abilities, use of fire, and construction of rudimentary shelters, such as the 700,000-year-old stone foundation discovered in Prehistoric, Czech Republic, gave them an edge in the struggle for survival. Even so, the aftermath of the 0.9 Ma event left humanity vulnerable for hundreds of thousands of years. It wasn't until around 70,000 to 50,000 years ago that humans began to thrive. By the late Paleolithic, humans had developed more advanced tools, stronger social structures, and early forms of art and ritual. Around 40,000 to 30,000 years ago, the first cave paintings appeared, a sign that humanity had finally reached a level of stability that allowed for creative expression and cultural growth. This long, difficult journey reminds us of both our incredible resilience and our fragile place in nature. By studying these ancient crises and how our ancestors overcame them, we gain valuable insights into our shared history, and a clearer understanding of the environmental challenges that could threaten our future.